gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to Surreal Sundays. I'm your host, Old School Exit 9. And tonight we're going to be getting into the title is Who Comes First, the Spouse or the Child? Okay. So last week we went into Michelle Obama and what I perceived as a disrespect towards her husband, Barack Obama. Okay. And to bring out the overall disrespect that we get from our women. Okay. And so this is kind of a continuance of the topic of the black woman disrespecting the black man. Okay. So we're gonna go into some videos that's gonna go into that subject. I'm gonna have some videos off of TikTok that shows uh, the one side where the woman believes that the kids come before the man, and then we got some videos to go on the contrary. Okay, we got that going on. We got whiskey of the week, and we got that hot video. So without further ado, let's get into it.
You are now listening to some old school shit.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's get this music going. I'm hearing a little echo on my end. Is there an echo going out there? It comes in and kind of goes away. Kind of hearing an echo in my monitors. Do we hear an echo out there? All right. So if All right, we got no echo. All right, fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and get into this a little bit. Let's see, I want to get my music going. Is that music loud? I sound low. How about now? How does the microphone sound now? All right. I turned it up a little bit on the microphone. Can you hear a difference? Okay, Mrs. O said it sounds good. How's the music? Is the music overpowering the voice? Still waiting for an answer on that. Is the music overpowering my voice? All right, we got a yes, sir. The music is overpowering. We got a yes and a, oh, no, sir. No, sir. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get going with our topic for tonight, which is who comes first, the spouse or the child? Okay. So, you know, it's a debate out there, ongoing debate, something that will never die. Because you have some people who actually respect the marriage and those who only respect what comes out of the marriage. Being it's a child or children or the prosperity that is built over by way of your marriage, they only respect that. You know, so they don't really respect you. They just respect that you are a means to other things that they want in their life. Okay, and that's basically what it is. That's basically what it is when you have that dynamic going on, when the spouse is putting something above you, whether that's, well, like I said, whether that's children or anything else, or what have you. So we're gonna go ahead and hop right into a TikTok video. Like I said, I'm gonna show a couple of, one of the videos that I found really wasn't with it, but we're gonna go ahead and do some commentary on it anyway, because it's kind of touching the subject, but her specific situation isn't what this show is about, because we don't do situationships. We are talking about people in marriage, okay? Not people cohabitating, nothing like that. We're talking about married people, okay? So let's go ahead and hop right into the first TikTok video. Let me switch screens for you. All right. And we're gonna pull this one up.
I don't know what mama needs to hear this.
See if we can rewind
I
this
don't know
back.
what mama needs to hear.
All right, we're gonna see if we can turn this up some. All right, let's see what she has to say. Your kids become before that man. All right, let's see what's happening.
Hear this, but them kids come before that man. And this is something personal for me. One of my kids had an issue where he was kind of having a little identity crisis, if you will, just trying to find his way. And so my friend who is incarcerated, my guy friend or whatever, he talked to him and he came to me and he was like, hey, I think he would benefit with you spending more time with him. Maybe we need to cut off our time. Maybe you cut a little time on social media so that you can give him a little more attention. And when he said that, I'm like, man, that's the realest thing you ever said. And I can't even get mad because I'm like, dang, maybe that is the solution. Sometimes as mothers, I know we want to feel love and we want to get, the romance. We want all those things. But when we lay down and had them kids, all that stuff went out the window. So right now, our focus really needs to be on our kids. I mean, love is there. I'm not saying you can't focus on love, but there needs to be a balance. Because if that man leave you, all the men that you keep running through trying to heal whatever you got going on, because I've been there, I've done that too, but you need to go to therapy. Whatever you looking for in between those men's legs, I don't know who needs to hear it. I talk real plain. But when you get through running through all the men trying to heal your heart, them babies are going to be right there.
And that's a major problem. Because the norm is in this world, it's normal to have several people, several bodies in your credit history. Okay. And that's not really normal. What she said, after you get through running through all those men's, you're not supposed to be doing that in the first place. Number one, you're supposed to be in a covenant with your partner of marriage first. And then the children are a product of that. Okay? And that's what we have gotten away from. We have gotten away from basic instruction on how to have a family. It's abnormal to not have the father in the home. It's abnormal not to have the mother in the home. It's abnormal to have a mixed family. One of the spouses is the step parent. Now, there are situations that righteously will provide provision for a step parent type situation, such as the original marriage ended with someone expiring. So now the surviving spouse is widowed and they remarry. Okay. Under those type of circumstances, that is normal. But the way we just get with one another and drop one another, one day I like you, the next day I don't, and I make moves to accommodate how I'm feeling at that moment in time. That's not how we're supposed to be moving. And so we got a lot of degenerative type of situations going on in our society. One of the building blocks of a society, of a community, the number one block starts with the family. If you don't have that, you don't have community. You don't have community, you don't have a nation. So we have to get back to what builds the nation, and that starts with the family, constructed the right way. And so we have to change our attitudes. While we're in these marriages, one of the attitudes that need to be changed is our priority list. Who comes first? So let me go ahead and pause this right quick. Let me go over here. Can you guys see this clearly? If not, I will magnify it. Let me just go ahead and magnify it. All right. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good for that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. And out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air and brought them to Adam to see what he will call them. Let's get to the point. Gave them names. And the Lord God, okay, let's go to the second half of verse 20. And to every beast of the field, but for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman and brought her unto him. Brought her unto him. And now we're about to learn the definition of a woman. We're about to learn it right now in verse 23. Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. The definition of woman is of man. So now we start the hierarchy. We're starting to see the levels here. Man, then woman. And what's the product of that union? Children. So people want to, a lot of this stuff comes from feminism and confusion and not knowing the order, the proper order of things. I'm going to go over here to 1 Corinthians. I'm going to go ahead and get these scripts out the way. 1 Corinthians. And we got 11 and 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know, this is for all you Paulatans in error, because most of you people believe you're Christians, but you don't believe nothing Christ says. You believe and misinterpret the words of Paul. So you're a Paulatans in error. All right. So we got 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man. If you will just accept that, one of the parts of your marriage will run flawlessly. That's one thing that will not cause a rift in the marriage if you just follow that program. We're going to jump down to verse 9. Y'all not going to like this one. Not for you feminists. But it goes back to what we just read in Genesis, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. If you can just accept that instruction, that part of your marriage won't be any rifts going on. That part will run smooth. That part will run smooth. There's some folks up in here I want to give shouts out to real quick. Promote conscious parenting with the Harrises. Mrs. He Said and Mrs. She Said. Salute to you. Glad y'all decided to pop in, check us out. Let's see who else we got. We got A-Team. What's up, A-Team? A-Team is in the house. I need to get some sound bites. Corey Joe, what's happening? Corey Joe, what's happening? Who else we got going on up in here tonight? And of course, we got Mrs. O. Mrs. O, what's happening? I see you. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and finish what this young lady has to say. But her mindset is, well, I'm gonna hold on to these children and put them over the man because you never know when the man's gonna leave. And it comes a time when your children leave as well. And they take on their own marriages and situationships and get preoccupied with their own life, their own day-to-day. Then what do you have? You either have a man living with you that's full of contention because of the disrespect that's built up over the years, or there's no one there. And as the late, great Kevin Samuels would say, or will suggest, that you'll have a dog. Buy a dog, die alone. One scenario or situation where this is really a serious problem is in the mixed marriages. This is a big deal. When the husband, the men don't really, well, I haven't had an issue letting the stepmother mother. But on the flip side, it was an issue at some point in time, whether early on or all the way through. Kids was put above me, my stepchildren. Now, I've had 3 marriages. The first marriage was no stepchildren in that. Marriage number 2, stepchildren in that, and marriage number 3, stepchildren in that. So I'm not gonna. Most definitely in marriage number 2, it was contention throughout the whole marriage. It was a fight. It was a fight. So that's one of the reasons why I say that in other men that's content creators and otherwise, they will say that being a stepfather is a bad deal. It's a lose-lose. So this stuff really surfaces when the father or the man is not the natural father of the children. And that really comes out in those situations. Let's go ahead and finish what this young lady has to say.
So for me, I have been learning to prioritize my kids. Yes, I want love, but I also don't want to create, especially because I got boys, I don't want little boys that need to heal from me. I don't want sons that need to go to therapy about me. So I'm doing my best to heal me, to prioritize them, and still have some time for myself and keep that happy balance. I don't know who needed to hear that. I gave y'all my own personal stuff. I ain't just talking.
And so it's strongly suggested that if you find yourself in a situation where you are not with the natural father of the children, unless you can check that attitude and get with the next man's program, you need to be by yourself. That don't mean hopping, getting on the Johnson carousel. That means by yourself. And raise the kids however you deem fit, however you like. That way those kids don't incur other traumas from the myriads of men that you're going to bring through that threshold. The more people we lay with, the more spirits we add on to ourselves. Sex is a spiritual thing. We know it. The minute you ladies get the good stroke, you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You don't know how to act. Same thing for some dudes out there. The minute you slide up in something that got nice grip and squishy, you don't know how to act. So, sex, laying with one another, you exchanging spirits. And the more people you lay with, the more spirits you adapt. You do pick up certain attributes from people you deal with over time.
The person doesn't like your kid and your kid doesn't like the person. The person doesn't like.
Now, in the beginning of the show, excuse me. Beginning of the show, I expressed that it was one of these clips that kind of touched the subject but didn't. And this is the clip right here. Let's see what they got to say.
The person doesn't like your kid and your kid doesn't like the person, you out.
Yeah.
So whether your kid doesn't like him per se, whether or not he's a good man, you would still leave.
Honestly speaking, yeah, because my kid comes first. Like, I'm going to try to do my best to try to assess the situation. But at the end of the day, regardless of who you are in my life, that don't mean me and you can't be great friends. That don't mean that we can't work it out. It's not going to work out. And if my kid don't like you, my kid don't like you for a reason.
Kids behave.
My kid doesn't like you for a reason. Yeah. Kids are very simple. And they don't like you because they want you for themselves, or they have a certain loyalty to their natural parent and what have you. So they're not liking you is based on along them lines. I had a ex-girlfriend years ago, and my son came to me. He didn't like her, and he was like, he just simply said, "Why can't it just be me and you?" So kids will like to hold you hostage to themselves, but it's gonna be a time where they're gonna move on. They're gonna move on. They're gonna go ahead and live their lives. What have you. And if the person that you are looking at, because this situation, I'm gonna strongly assume that this is not a courtship or towards marriage. It's pretty much typically how it usually rolls. You know, we about to get into a situationship and these are my kids, right? If the person that you're dating at the time expresses, rather through word or behavior, that they don't like your children, you should cut that off. You should cut that off. That's when you prioritize, because you actually prioritizing their safety in some form or fashion, whether they mental safety or they physical or they physical safety. And that should be done while y'all vetting one another. Okay, not once you done made a commitment. You done made this thing a righteous and holy union. You should have done your vetting. You should have put one another through enough questions and watch behaviors and made your decisions and what have you. All that should be already done. When you get into the marriage, is not the time to be like, my kids come before you. Most men ain't gonna take that too lightly. You're gonna have your simps gonna be like, okay, bet, and cheat on you. And then you're gonna have the real ones who's gonna be like, all right, bet, and serve you your papers like you should. So now we looked at the negative side of people explaining why they should put. In this case, this young lady, she's kind of on point. Although I'm quite sure the dynamics of how she's setting up her relationship or relationships are not in a righteous manner. It's pretty much along the typical worldly way of doing things. Okay, so, and she's pretty much on point. If the person you're seeing doesn't like your kids, yeah, they need to bounce. The kids are gonna. Their reasoning is not to be really considered, because they're coming from a selfish, and more times than not, they're coming from a selfish standpoint. So, and it's not a real reason or any logic. So they're just coming from emotion, what they want, and who they loyal to, and they don't want nobody to get in between them and you. So that's not something that should really be considered. Now, if you got a son or a daughter who's of thinking age, who can kind of interpret and read between the lines and see the bullshit sometimes, you know. And they're not gonna, they're gonna tell you straight up, hey, mom, dad, you know, whatever, such and such looked at me a certain way. And it made me feel uncomfortable. Then that type of logic, that type of reasoning, you should consider and what have you, and make the appropriate adjustments. Let's see here. Let's go into the chats and see what's going on in the chats. All right. We still got we got the squad rocking with us. A-Team in the house, you know, Corey Joe. All right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to some other information here we got. Let's see. All right, so we got here the Amped House. The Amped House. The Amped House. Let me go over here to this right here, right quick. So we can give credit where credit is due, because we caught a strike, y'all. We had caught a strike. It was on the show that I had did with the pastor. The pastor, it was something, the pastor something and the HIV. And we caught a strike. Okay. And in hindsight, I understand. I understand why. That show was done kind of lazy. We actually just used, or I actually just used their whole show, and I did very little review and commentary on it and what have you. And that's not how things should be done. You know what have you. I do believe that it could have been handled another way, but they decided to handle the way they did, and I respect that. So that was my mistake, and I'm going to do things, or have been doing things since then, little different, a lot different. We're not going to use people's whole intellectual work for our show. We'll grab bits and pieces off of their stuff, make our points on it, and keep it moving. And that's how it should be done. Let's see, the Amped House. Put this in there right quick. And another thing, you know, I kind of I move too fast for myself, so I'm really trying to slow down and make sure everything is everything. All right, so we got it up there. The video owner, the Amp House, is up there. Shouts out to the Amp House. Thank you for putting this out here. So let's get into what they got to say.
Who's first, your spouse or your kids?
You guys are still debating about this, so I'm gonna ask hubby and my sons what they think for our question of the day. Let's go. Whoop. Question, you guys. Who comes first? Parents or kids?
I'm not really sure why this would be a debate, because to me it's pretty clear. When we got married, I made a vow to you. So you and I are in covenant. And the benefits of our relationship flow down to the children. So my first priority is always going to be my queen. I'm going to take care of her. She comes first when I make decisions. And then that will foster a healthy relationship between us. And the fallout from that benefits the kids.
I think a lot of people focus too much or prioritize their kids a little too much, and then they do it over their relationship. So now it's this divide, you know, in the household. So it's like you said, if you guys are healthy, your kids are gonna be be healthy. You guys are doing good, your kids are gonna be doing good. If you guys love each other, being loving, being supportive, your kids are gonna reap those benefits.
There really is no priority. I think the only time there's a priority if one person of the family is threatening the other, then that's the only time that question has context or should be answered, right? Because if you're an actual family, it's like a circle, right? And if it's a circle, it should be an equal distance. So it means an equal priority and an equal amount.
I totally disagree with this young man. There is no equal distance between father and child. There is no equal distance between mother and child. There is no equal distance between husband and wife. There's no equal. There's no equal. That sounds like a feminist simp answer. Feminist simp answer. This is what he looks like with that type of crap. This is what he looks like.
Like the grapes that thrive on the vine. He told me that the man of my dreams. Like the grapes that thrive on the vine. He told me that the man of my dreams.
That's exactly what he looked like doing that shit. This is what a simp personified in the flesh. That's what he looked like. Right there. That's what he looks like, folks. We go. Mrs. O over there rolling. I'm gonna play that one more time for you. This is what a simp looks like, personified in the flesh. Here we go.
Like the grapes that thrive on the vine. He told me that the man of my dreams. Like the grapes that thrive on the vine. He told me that the man of my dreams.
That's what that is, right there. That is some bullshit. It's bullshit. Bullshit, goddamn it. No, there's no equal. Not at all. None. None. Absolutely none. Let's go ahead and finish this one out. Oh, well, you know what? Let's see if they got anything else going on. Because I ain't trying to hear nothing else this dude got to say. All right. Seems like he's still talking through the rest of that. Let's see what we got here. All right. All right, we got from HLM. Do you put marriage before your kids? Okay, so let me go ahead and get over to the owner section here and put HLM in there. Shout out to HLM for putting this content out. We appreciate that. All right.
Well, I gotta say, I support this next story. Putting your spouse before the kids. And I'm probably gonna get reamed by a lot of you, but it's time to find out what you blog in. Real voices from the parenting world. And joining me today from the blog Black and Married with Kids, Ronnie and Lamar Tyler. Mara still weighing in on this. All right, TV host and reality star Juliana Rancic says that she puts her husband Bill first. Everything else, including baby, comes second. I'm gonna start with you, married couple.
It's the smartest thing that she can do for her family. That marriage is the foundation of that family, and when that marriage is healthy, the family is healthy. The kids see a healthy relationship, so we should be modeling that, and they should know they're not getting in between any of that.
Exactly, and that's so important. I mean, how many couples do we see when the kids actually move out, that's when they get divorced because they disconnected over that 20-year span?
You got to keep things hot, right?
You have to. Well, I can see where she's getting a lot of heat for this because
Why?
she really struggled to have a baby publicly.
Oh, that's
and
right,
she
through fertility.
Exactly. So she went through a lot of struggle. She put her life out on the open. But I normally would not agree with her on anything, but on this, I think she's 100% right. I think you do. When I see people who have an email address where it's like, Henry's mom, it makes me crazy because you don't lose your identity. You've got to keep your marriage interesting because if mom and dad are hot and if together, you got to keep it going or
True.
just...
And the kids watch everything. My kids see us kiss and hold hands, and the minute they see it, they want to hold hands. They want to kiss. They want to hug.
And that doesn't mean you stop loving your child. You know,
Right.
I mean, and I love what she said. The best thing you can do for that child is show them a happy, healthy, loving pair of parents. And
Okay, and that's spot on. That's spot on. And what have you. So you have to continue to provide one another that time. Okay. And I know one of this next one I'm about to bring up, you know, the lady is talking about, well, you know, early on, it was easy as the kids got older, but early on, you know, the kids consumed or they demanded a lot of time and attention and what have you. And, you know, as a husband, I get that. I get that. But then, you know, we need to have that time as well. And what have you. So it's a myriad of ways to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Men, you know, jump in there and help out with the kids. Help out with bedtime. You know what I'm saying? I know you worked. You want a little time with the wife. You want to have a little energy. Help out at the end of the day with the kids. You know, get them ready for bed. You know. Time management. That's right, Mrs. O. Time management. Time management. That's what you need to incorporate into your marriage, especially when you have when your family is young, when you're starting out, or you start having the children. You most definitely need time management. You need to do your best to master that. Okay, and I don't know, just trying to come up with some ideas to shoot out there and what have you. But some patience, some understanding from both sides, and especially from the husband when the wife is dealing with the kids all day. And me being a single father at a point in time, I can understand and appreciate that thing where the kids take a lot out of you, you know. And if you're working, then you gotta, you know, come home and do what you gotta do for the kids and what have you. You know, that takes a lot. So, in the situations where there's both parents in the house, you know, wife do what she needs to do, and the husband come in, and if there's reason to help, being that, you know, reasonable reasoning, so to speak. Say you want some time with your wife, you know what I'm saying? Try and help that out a little bit so that can happen. Okay? Okay. It is a give and take in that. You gotta be able to be flexible. And ladies, you just can't use the kids as a clutch not to spend time with your husband. Okay. Time management. I don't want to use all their programming, so we're going to go over to.
So I saw this
something
video. I
else.
thought that was very.
All right. The Philip Scott Show. All right. Let's see what. There was a little snippet in this video I wanted to take out. So let me go ahead and go to video owners in here and put in the credits. The Philip Show. All right, shout out to the Philip Show. Thank you for this content. We appreciate it much. All right, we're going to go in. Because he had a little something in the beginning of his show, at the very beginning. And it's right here. Let me go back to him. Just trying to touch it a little bit right there. All right.
Their children. Let's go ahead and roll it.
More important, your husband or your kids?
My husband. Why? Because he gave me my kids, and I knew him before my kids. Yeah.
So you would love your husband more than your kids?
I'm not. No. I would love him more. Yeah. Yeah. But like, no. I mean, I wouldn't compare it though. Yeah. But I would love him more. Yeah.
More important.
Spot on. She, you know, because the reason why she was hopscotching a little bit is because, you know, society as a whole, well, the feminists, and she doesn't want to look bad. She doesn't want to sound like she doesn't love her children. And feminists and things like that will take that and spin it that way. And she didn't want that for herself. That's why. So that's why she was hopscotching on that and what have you. But she went back to it, and then she doubled and tripled down on it. Yeah, I love my husband more. Absolutely. Love your spouse more. Even in a mixed marriage. Whether the spouse is the step parent, same thing goes, because when you do not act in accordance to that, contention is going to arise, resentment is going to build. And I might come in loving everybody, but if you keep putting them above me and I'm feeling disrespected and stuff, right, and what have you, I might not like the kids because they're the reason or the basis of our contention. That's with men who think emotionally. Most do. They go that route. Some can actually just sit back and actually analyze the situation and reason correctly. But, you know, some do think like that as well. Either way, spouse over the kids. That's delicious. I can't wait to talk about it at the end of the show. Let's get back to it.
Your wife or your kids?
My wife.
Right.
My wife is, because she's the one that gave me the kids. So that's why.
Okay. Would you love your husband or your kids more?
My kids.
Why?
I don't know. I still love my husband, but I think my kids more. Yeah.
Well, let's weigh in.
That young lady who said she loved her kids more does not respect the husband. Does not love the husband. He was a means to what she really wanted, which was those kids. So she spoke it, and if it hasn't, it will. Come to fruition. It will make itself known. The husband's going to pick up on that. Over time, if not immediately, but more likely over time, resentment's going to build. And if he's a simp, he's going to go and either become abusive in some form or manner, become unloyal to the marriage. I mean, if he's a real one, he'll just give her the paperwork and be done with it. But you created that because you do not know, or you do not want to recognize where those kids came from. I like this song right here.
But it's been written in a word so clear. Him that has an ear, let him hear. Ooh, confusion turns our world around and upside down like a carousel. Change is needed for you, young man.
So I saw this video. I thought that was very.
That Israel makes the world go round and round and round. Makes the world go round. Oh, play my brother. Let it speak to their mind. Let it speak to their soul.
Everybody, I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe. If you like the content, please, where we at? Put the finger at where we need to be at. I can't do it on this. But you can send your Cash App donations. Cash App at Miss O Show if you like the content. If there's some content that you want us to review and present commentary on, you can email us at missoshow@gmail.com. That's right, this is my cabaret voice when I cut in like a DJ at the cabaret.
For all my sisters in the struggle right now, he makes it go round. For all my brothers that need to be found, he makes it go round.
The Mrs. O Show is on Twitter, not Twitter, but we on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram, and TikTok. Join Mrs. O on those platforms. We'll truly appreciate it. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get back into the show. I just got into the groove right quick, you know what I'm saying? I just got into my DJ mood. I'm having fun tonight, people. Having fun tonight. So we got this young lady. Let's put her up. And see what she got to say on the topic. Well, here we go.
The child.
Yes.
You and your husband and your child go out on your sailboat.
Okay.
If sailboat gets struck, it's sinking.
Yeah.
Who are you going to save? The child or your husband?
Look, I would choose my child's father because we can make more children. This is an impossible choice. You also have to understand that my hierarchy in my life.
I agree.
God, my man,
husband,
my children,
and everything else.
And also, I just want to emphasize spouse.
Your baby and your man is in the water.
Yeah.
Your baby look like a baby. Your man look like a grown man. I'm saving my baby. Like, I love my wife, but like I just feel like my
What if she's incapacitated? What if she's knocked out?
I feel like she would be mad at me if I saved her.
She would, but she would get over it because now you a single daddy.
As a man, I can't even like go back and be like, oh yeah, I saved my wife. I let the baby die. Who am I gonna go tell that story to?
Everybody.
Like, that sound crazy.
Let me tell you this. This is why having an integrity point and barometer with self is so important. Because if somebody said to me, you let your kids die and you saved your husband, absolutely. Now, it's not to say that I wouldn't grieve, that I wouldn't be sad. I'd probably ask myself, did I make the right choice? Oh my God, are we ever gonna have children again? You know, I'm getting up there in age. Having kids is hard. All of these things are real things, but I'm telling you right now, I don't care what anybody has to say about any decision that I made because I did it and I meant it.
Reverse situation. Your
Yes,
husband,
yes,
you love so much,
yes.
on that boat, and you and the baby.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you want him to do?
I would want him to save the child, but I would understand why he chose me.
You will be happy with him after he chose you, not the child?
This is such a challenging choice, but ultimately, my husband, I so recklessly trust my husband that in that moment, that's what made sense to him.
You can't.
And I might be
can't-
mad.
Yeah.
I'm already geriatric. We might never be able to have kids again, and the grieving would be crazy for sure. But if he chose me over our children, there's a reason why. God's not done with me yet. People love the word until it's inconvenient, until there's judgment and bias around it. But when you
Oh, she hit one right there, right out the ballpark, baby. Ooh, that was a home run. Grand slam at that. Dig what she said. She said people, they love the word until the judgment come. Until it go against what you want to do. That's why I put the word, that's why I put the scripts out earlier. That's why I put the scripts out earlier. The man first. What would you do if you had to choose between your child and your spouse? I tell you, them little boogers, in my opinion, they'll set you smooth the fuck up. I'm gonna roll the dice and go with my wife. Them little crumb snatchers. Hey. The hell with them. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. And I don't give a shit how y'all want to spin it. I shall leave my mother and father and cleave to my wife, says the scripts. Not cleave to Junior and Juniorette. And vice versa with the wife. Y'all got the game twisted, putting these kids above your spouse. These little motherfuckers don't have, nope. All they do is take. Fucking emotional absorbers, they just suck the spirit out of you. I love my kids. But I don't trust not damn one of them when it comes to the time when I can't do for myself. I got more faith in my wife than them. Just throw me in a nursing home and come see me once a year on Father's Day, and I don't even celebrate the shit. No. We got Mona D. They didn't like this discussion, y'all. They didn't like this discussion. How dare you, the woman who, let's switch screens. The women who were quick to say save out kids weren't married to their children's father. So of course I respect them to disagree. Fucking kids. Okay, we got some Edomites that we're gonna display on here. Cornerstone Television Network. Let's go ahead and put that in the where it need to be at. Cornerstone Television Network. Go ahead and check out, see what they got to say. Let's go. All praises on that Edomite. Let me switch. All praises on that Edomite. I'm not sure if that audio went through. I'm gonna start over.
Hey friend, welcome to Mom Talk. We are talking relationship priorities today. So I'm Anna, and today I have with me Carly, Christine, and Judy. And when we're preparing to do Mom Talk, we usually get together and we talk about some of the challenges and things that we're dealing with, because we figure you probably are too. One of the biggest challenges is keeping our husbands a higher priority than our children. So I want to throw it out there to you. Do you keep your husband a higher priority? Is it easy? Is it hard? Carly.
It's very easy for me to keep my husband first priority.
Yeah.
We do a lot together. We go on a date at least once a week.
Every time I'm on Facebook, there's always these pictures of the places you guys go.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we just went to a cruise together for my birthday. He surprised me for fun. And we go away at least twice a year.
Okay. So he's saying that all right, let me turn the music down a little bit. All right. So she said, absolutely. Not a problem. Didn't hesitate, didn't have to think about it. All praises on this Edomite. All praises on this Edomite. So we're going to scrub through and we get to her. Let's see what she got to say.
Lose who you are as a couple, because I think at some point those kids
They're gone.
go away.
Right.
And then it's just you guys.
Right.
And that was my point earlier. That was my point earlier. That was my point earlier, that that the kids are going to leave at some point and have their own lives. So for all those, because I see this situation more of an issue with the mother or the wife / mother versus the husband / father. Because women naturally derive decision making off of emotions. And their foresight is not as keen as the man. The kids gonna be living their own life. Then what some of you try to do is bombard or push yourselves into their lives. Thus the creation of the mama's boy. Where then the wife marries the husband and the mama. And everything that is done and not done and said and not said is critiqued and filtered through. The mother always got some input on everything. So Yeah. The kids are going to be living their lives eventually. And guarantee you will not be a priority in their lives. Not like you prioritize them in your life. Kids is like a bad stock option. You're not gonna get back what you put in. You're not gonna get the returns. The dividends ain't worth the investment. That is not why you invest in kids. You're not gonna get back what you put into them. Period. I don't give a shit. You are not going to get back from your kids what you put into them. Unless they some type of NBA, NFL, they done became a gesture in some form or fashion. What do you mean, old school? What do you mean by gesture? I mean sports, I mean music, I mean acting. Even if they get into a profession, if they become a lawyer or a doctor, very seldom do you get back what you put into them. And that shouldn't be your motive for putting anything into them in the first place. But you're not gonna get what you put into them. So, kids gonna start their lives, and what you prioritize them over, it's not gonna be a return. You're not gonna get that back. They're not gonna make you a priority over their wife, their husband, their children. Let's scrub through this video, see what the next lady got to say. Okay, here she comes. Here we go.
We get the time together as well. I think it's so easy, at least for me, to put my kids' neediness on the first priority because they're young. I see them, and it's more natural for me to be unselfish to them and wear myself out for them than it is my husband, because I think, oh, he's an adult and he can take care of himself. But when I get my priorities straight, it usually takes some mommy time, some me time alone. If I get that time alone for myself, I get refocused. My relationship with my husband is a lot better. My kids are a lot better. And when I put my husband as a priority, I do get that extra strength and that grace that God gives me to take care of my kids then.
It's a God flow, really.
But it's hard work for both of us. We really
So, she's saying that, she needs some time in between, some me time in between time type thing, and that's understandable. And she says she recalibrates and gets back to the focus of, the husband being first and foremost and what have you. And she's pretty much in her speech, she's saying she kind of loses herself in the kids, and then she has to get some me time. That's how she said it. Some me time to kind of recalibrate and get refocused on what should be her priority and what have you. And that happens with all of us. Life, when life be lifing, and we in the mode where we just putting out fires here and there, You know what I'm saying? We pretty much that's being reactive instead of proactive. That's what that is. So she's saying she gets into a reactive mode, and then she has to, once she gets some time to think about stuff and to think of stuff in hindsight and everything, what have you, then she gets refocused. You know what I'm saying? She sets out to do what she doing. Then, she does what she do what she do for 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 months. And then she falls back into that life be lifing thing again. And then she needs some time to get out that mold, that streak. And then she kind of recalibrates and gets back into, prioritize what she's supposed to do, and she do what she's supposed to do for that 1 or 2 days or that 1 or 2 weeks, and so she's in a cycle like that. That's understandable. That's human. At least she's trying. At least she evaluating herself. She's not delusional. She knows what the fuck is going on. She knows what the fuck she got to do. And she makes efforts to do it. And then when life be lifing, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't have the discipline to stay in a certain mode. She drifts off into another mode, but she has enough discipline to, when she gets the time to recalibrate and set herself back to where she need to be. That's what she was saying. All right, and the last one. Let's see what she got to say.
And I would say our marriage suffered for it too when they were so little, and our marriage is so much stronger because we are able to.
Yeah, absolutely. Take the time. Even when they're little, you still have to take the time.
So let's expand on that a little bit. Talk to me about.
So early on, when the kids was little, life was lifing. She was doing what she was doing. She was into the kids. Husband was feeling neglected. Contention arose in the marriage. Ladies, the kids would not be there without the husband. For those in mixed marriages, ladies, that man is providing for your children, either in absence or on top of the child support you're getting from the natural father. And if he is providing any emotional support or not. Melissa Copel, let's switch scenes. I like to switch scenes when stuff come up. Take heed to the messages in the house. What's happening? Hello, ma'am. Good evening to you. Miss Heed to the message. Please go to her platform, subscribe. She got great content. She loved going into and getting into them politicians' asses, boy. I tell you, she pulls it out. She do her thing up in there. Go ahead and do that thing. Take heed to the message. Subscribe. Support that channel. Support that channel. We love you over here, Take Heed. We love you over here. Yeah, let's see what we got going on. Miss Copel. This particular message is something I can always use reminded on. All praises to the Most High on that. All praises to the Most High on that. All praises on the Most High on that. I really had thought that most women had gone nuts. The whole new wave of feminism that focuses on beating men down is a wonder to me. That's interesting. That's very interesting, Melissa Copel. Feminism is, I had brought a show out. You can go back into the catalog. It's called The Age of Diana. Feminism is women's worship. Feminism, and of course it was in another term then, but it was the beginning of idolatry with Eve. Feminism is women's worship. Mother's Day, women's worship. What's that party or gathering where people come to give you gifts for your child that you're about to have? What's the name of that? Baby shower. Baby shower, women's worship. Baby showers, women's worship. So now we about to get into some other parts of the show. But before we do, Mrs. O got something to say. Mrs. O.
Shalom, family. This is Mrs. O. Thank you for joining our channel. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you would like to support our channel, you can do so by scanning the QR code to the Cash App or the PayPal in the lower left corner. We would greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the show.
All right, Mrs. O. Thank you for that message. Thanks for reminding us for the umpteenth time. Like, share, and subscribe. It costs you nothing. But what does cost you is to help support the channel, which you can do at Mrs. O Show at Cash App. Okay? You can do that thing. And that will cost you 50 cents, $1, whatever. Whatever will help. We'll appreciate that thing. Thank you. If you enjoy the content and you want to help us to improve the presentation of the content, please support us through Cash App. Okay. And we're going to go into this hot video. Go ahead and get into this hot video. Okay, I think I showed them on here once before. I'm not sure, but neither here or there. We're going to go ahead and put it out there again because this video is hot. So, Shigyeon. I should have pronounced this and practiced this shit before I got on here, but I didn't. So, the title of the song is Sun in the Nighttime, aka Yin Yang. All right, let's get it. Okay, I just got a message that we didn't hear or see what's going on. So I just transferred everything. So here we go. Here we go with the video.
Yeah. You alright? Look, music sound good, so they all vibe to it. Scriptures coming out and they all slide to it. Ever seen the sun in the nighttime? Music sound good, so they all vibe to it. Bullets start hitting and they all die to it. Meddle in your sins and you might die. Yeah, look. When I put on my fringes, I lost all my friends is not trying to be different, just trying to make a difference. They hopped in the Benz while I did my father's business. I'm keeping the distance, but I'm still going the distance. I'm all in the scriptures, then they still popping prescriptions. Nah. They call it a Saturday, I call it a Sabbath day. They call it a holiday, I call it a holy day. They call it their birthday, I call it the worst day. They gon' hit the club, everybody looking thirsty. Yeah. Vibe with me, she say vibe with me. I said nah, she say why? Cause I got a wife and I'm fine, Brittany. She say, we can go and hide. I said nah, I serve the most high. She say shut up boy and come get high with me now. Vibe. They said they got that loud, we could smoke a volume. I said nah, they say how come? Cause you sound dumb and he comes in the volume. No matter how you try to run, he can find you. And that's real talk. sound good, so they all vibe to it. Scriptures coming out and they all slide to it. Ever seen the sun in the nighttime? Yeah. Music sound good, so they all vibe to it. Bullets start hitting and they all die to it. Meddling in sin and you might die. Oh yeah, yeah.
Gave up chasing hoes, gave up splitting switches. I wanna live righteous, they wanna live wicked. She wanted my last name, I want nothing with her. She wanted my baby, I want out the picture. You live in theology, your life is a fairy tale. I live in reality, my life is a living hell. Your name must be April, where you take me for a fool. I never finished college, but I study with the Jews. The Jews show me something, they say never follow women. That's how do your glamorous, always in the cameras. You stay in the mirror like, how this make my booty look. We can't never leave, cause spiritually you hold us up. Riding with me, she say riding with me. I say no, she like why? Cause I got a life and I'm fine with me. Now I know, cause this mean I'm woke. I'm not down with you, gotta go. Is it only me? You sound like Britney now.
I'm bold, like I'm all in black. Ain't no small thing, like I'm all in caps. Cause I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm bold, like I'm all in black. Ain't no small thing, like I'm all in caps. Cause I'm with you, I'm with you.
Man, that video is absolute fire. I love that video. Got a lot of messages in that, you know what I mean? So, got the little demonic female trying to entice. Like, nah, can't get with you. I'm married. All right. We're going to go ahead and get over to my favorite part of the program. One moment. Setting everything up. Setting everything up. Yeah. Turn that shit up. You know what it is. It's whiskey of the week, baby. Yes, sir. Turn it down a little bit so to overpower the microphone. This week's whiskey of the week is Templeton Rye. That's what we was sipping on tonight, baby. Templeton Rye. And we was sipping on, let's see, all right, there we go. 10-year rye. Oh my goodness. This is delicious. And it's not nutritious, but it is delicious. On their website, it says the aroma, rich chocolate and vanilla. Toasted oat, green apple, and apricot. I swear to goodness, I don't taste none of that shit. But what I do taste is a slight, it had like a little honey note to it. So it was honey. The taste, smooth dark oak with honeyed floral notes and our signature rye spice. It wasn't, I didn't taste the spice. I didn't taste the pepper that's supposed to be supposedly that comes with a rye whiskey. I didn't taste that. I did taste a bit of sweetness on a honey type vibe. It says the body is silky smooth with a creamy caramel feel. Boy, they embellished a little bit too much, but it was smooth. It was smooth. The finish, clean, long-lasting, and lingering with lingering butterscotch. I didn't particularly taste a butterscotch, and I'm hearing an echo in my monitors again. We're gonna keep rocking with it. So, Templeton 10-year rye. This is some good stuff. I'm going into the rye sector of whiskey for the show, and I'm actually, because they say that the basis for a rye or the standard for a rye is spicy and with pepper-like notes. So that's my new journey, is to find that rye with that spice and that pepper. I didn't get that pepper, and I really didn't get that spice in this one. But this was a very enjoyable experience with Templeton. It was smooth. It had like a honey-like note to it, so it had a little sweetness to it at the top of the palate, and at the bottom of the palate, who really gives a shit? It went down smooth, baby, and that's the main thing. So after the show, go get you some Templeton 10-year rye. It's gonna hit your pockets a little bit. So either get your income making game up or do some overtime or something. But grab this because you're gonna like it. It comes in a beautiful bottle too. Beautiful bottle. The nameplate of it comes in like a bronze type metal label, and it's a beautiful bottle. It's a keepsake for real. It is a keepsake. It's not something you just throw away. You grab this, and at least the first bottle that you grab of this, you keep it on your shelf because it's a beautiful bottle. Absolutely. Templeton 10-year rye. 10-year rye. Okay. Grab that shit. Grab that shit. And so you have it, folks. What comes first? The egg or the chicken? Bible says chicken or the rooster. What should you prioritize? Children over your spouse? Well, if you do not want a contentious marriage, I strongly suggest that you put your spouse over your children. Because if you do not, that spouse is going to build resentment, contention is going to be in your marriage. And we want to do anything possible to minimize contention. There will be troubles in the flesh. So say the scripts.
Chat members want to know about the whiskey again. She said her husband like whiskey.
Hold on 1 second before we conclude the show, baby. Mrs. O, come back in. Okay, speaking to the microphone, and you ain't got to show up on camera. Just speak into the microphone right quick for us.
Okay.
Let us know what's going on.
Okay. Our sister Melissa Coco had asked. She said, "My husband loves whiskey. What was the name again?" She said, "Was it Templeton?"
Yes, it was. It was Templeton. Matter of fact, let's go back to it. I still got it posted on the what's name. Let's go ahead and get it right quick. It was Templeton. Hi,
everybody. I'm sorry. Hello, everybody. I got to get back to cooking. Love you all.
All right, Miss O is cooking. Templeton 10-year rye. 10-year rye. Melissa Copel, Templeton 10-year rye. Okay. Tell them to go on and get on out tonight and get it. Okay. In Michigan, it hits for $90. Okay. So wherever you at, I hope it's a little less than that. Hope it's a little less than that. But in Michigan, it's $90. All right. All right. I think he will enjoy this one. All right. I most definitely did. However, my ultimate goal, since I'm trying out ryes, is to find that pepper like spicy profile in the liquor. I have not found it yet between the two that I've had so far. But Templeton is nice. It is nice. It's smooth. It is smooth. So smooth to get you in trouble. You better watch yourself. So I strongly suggest that you do not put your kids above your spouse. Your kids is going to eventually leave you. If you do so, your spouse will, resentment will build and contention will rise in your marriage. There are ways to minimize and abate anything. So husbands, if you need that time with your wife, you see her doing this, that, and the third, jump in, take some of that load off of her so you can have that time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to do some sacrificing. Everybody got to do some help to one another in order to get what you want. Okay? But ultimately, at the end of the day, as far as the black and white, kids do not prioritize over your spouse. And if they do, in your situation, you're asking for trouble. All right? So with that, we about to head on out of here. And we'll check y'all out next week at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This has been Surreal Sundays. I'm your host, Old School Exit 9. And remember, you are your brothers and sisters' keeper. And with that, peace.
Shades. Let's get into it. Where do I begin? Being in the skin, feeling like tabernacles, it could get intense. Treated like a sin, it could get me lynched. Even as a prince, it could get me pinched. But we don't even flinch, nah, not even an inch. Cause God up in the heavens and a nigga look like him. But they took his image and they put it through the rinse. Made it look like them, made it look like everything I grew up knowing was incorrect. They never said that I was ugly, but it's indirect. I used to get offended looking at my different flesh, but I bask in the sun, now it's limitless. For real, it took a while to get through to me too. Made from the same earth, we get nutrients through. Formed by the fingers of God, as mud in his cuticles too. In every shade is a beautiful view. Shades, here's something you need to know. The skin you in is gold, watch it glow. You a seed in the soil you need to grow. It look just like me, it gets darker, deeper you go. Deeper that you go, deeper that you go. You don't even know. You a seed in the soil you need to grow. It look just like you, it gets darker, deeper you go. Shades, brilliant tone, radiant surface. Encased in worth and glazed in perfect. The facts is deeper than the epidermis, and every layer still confirms a purpose. Shades. The sun in love with the way that you be. Your insecurities be funding these industries. Energy given to altering your imagery, it still be killing me. Never take the word of your enemies over we. Embracing the way you was made, the hell is a flaw. Went from being ashamed to being it all. All the standards have changed, no longer belong. I wish they make it a law to see what we saw. You for an unskin, it's not a praise. Mixed is not a phrase. Don't forget you a light to the world, a lot of rays. How can you see this wave of truth and be not amazed? Self-love is not a phase. Here's something you need to know. The skin you in is gold, watch it glow. You a seed in the soil you need to grow. It look just like me, it gets darker, deeper you go. Deeper that you go, deeper that you go. You don't even know. You a seed in the soil you need to grow. It look just like you, it gets darker, deeper you go. Shades. Just like me, it gets darker, deeper you go. Deeper that you go, deeper that you go. You don't even know. You a seed in the soil you need to grow. It look just like you, it gets darker, deeper you go. Shades.